Hey guys, Roost here. Today I'm gonna talk to you about Breaking Point, which is a zombie survival mod for Arma 3. But first I'm gonna go over a couple of things I need to get off my chest. You might have found that I sound a bit like talking from a grave, or I sound a bit like uninterested on what I do. But this is actually the way I sound in real life. You have to consider the fact that I'm Finnish, so we're born depressed, and we sound like everything is to shit, but that's not true. This is just the way we sound, or I sound. The other thing is that I haven't put much content in the last couple of weeks because my wife got a surgery for her knee, and she was not able to do anything around the house, so it's all has fallen onto me. So I haven't had much time to actually play any games or record anything or edit any stuff. But actually my wife is feeling better now, and you should see more content from now on. Well, after Breaking Point then. Breaking Point was originally a Arma 2 mod, and well, let's face it, it was gun porn. The gameplay was pretty much PvP, with everybody running around with silent sniper rifles having a huge boner. The reason why it was so PvP-ish is that there was a ton of the loot everywhere. So basically, if you died, it took about 10-15 minutes to get geared up, and off you go to the next round. So the first thing you noticed when you play the Arma 3 version of Breaking Point is that they have tampered down the amount of weapons you can have in the game. Basically, in the Arma 2 version, there was like every possible weapon for Arma 2 that there was, and for the Arma 3 version, they have normalized, and it feels a lot more reasonable amount of weapons you can have in this type of mod. So if you're playing a zombie survival game, you would think that zombies would be a thing you need to be surviving, right? Well, this is something they have actually managed to do in Breaking Point, because if you go to town, for instance, you can stay there for a couple of minutes, and usually if you just stay in one place, the zombies will surround you, and they actually pose a threat. If you guys can remember Arma 2 Daisy mods, the zombies were more of an ambience, and actually in standalone you don't even notice zombies because there's only a couple of them in towns and villages and stuff. But in this one, you actually need to take notice of the zombies. I mean, you can't avoid them, you can run away from them, but if you're gonna stay in cities and you try to loot stuff, you need to take account of the zombies. So this is what I really like about the Arma 3 version of the Breaking Point. The mod emphasizes on teamwork. It has its own inbuilt buddy system, which prompts you every time you join the server and gives you the option to team yourself with a random player on the server. Also, you can group up manually. Use the scroll menu by the mouse wheel whenever you're in the game. You just need to go next to the player and add him to the group. Gunplay is pretty much the same as in Arma 3, and if you are used to Arma 3, you played a lot of it, you don't see that much difference. The development team has told that they've made some modifications on the gunplay. The mod has a couple of trucks, off-roads, SUVs, cars, a quad bike. It's got few choppers. I think there's 4 different models of choppers. You might think that that's not enough, but I think it has the sizable amount and good amount of vehicles They're not as common as, for instance, if you have played Daisy Epoch on Arma 2. The worst Epoch servers got, like, if you turn yourself 360, you could see a vehicle sitting around in every direction. Mod has a modified health system. When you get wounded, if the wound is not that serious, you get some blood sparkles on the screen. If the wound is more serious, there's more blood on your screen, and you have different kind of bandages. You have small bandage for the minor wounds, and you have a military dressing for more serious wounds. The hunger and thirst are a big part of this mod, and if you run around, you get hungry and you get thirsty in a quicker pace. The mod has its own meter. If you get really hungry, your stomach starts to growl real loud, and after a while, you get a message that you're dying of hunger. And the same goes for the thirst. Your character starts to breathe heavily, kind of like panting like a dog, and eventually you get the message that you're dying of dehydration. Um, the mod has some emphasis on roleplay, if you like to. It's got heroes and bandits, three different levels on both sides, with custom gear on every level. Um, they're not so easily achieved. I mean, if you remember the early days of DayZ mods, you basically give some blood to someone, to your buddy, a couple of times, and you were almost a hero. Now the first level of heroes and first level of bandits start from the plus or minus 5,000 of humanity, and going up from there. There's another class also called survivalist, which means that your character is not minus or plus 5,000 humanity, but has survived for more than 5 days and has killed 100 zombies. There's a reasonable amount of loot for you in the mod. Maybe not so much than some of the other ones, but I think there's enough to keep you interested and keep you going. The mod uses the Altis map from Arma 3, which is pretty much a cool map in my viewpoint. It's different. It's got the different landscapes, different kinds of villages and towns, and yeah, it's a cool map. I like it. Mod has the same control set on Arma 3. If you have your custom setup for Arma 3, it switches to the mod once you install the mod. The mod has some custom controls, some customizable keys. The mod has all the multiplayer perks of Arma 3. If you would say, it suffers from desync, FPS stutter, and sometimes you think that your Arma 3 is affected by mysterious lunar activity. It has that also, so it's not that much different if you have used to play Arma 3 multiplayer servers. The mod has its own anti-ghosting system, which means that if you play on one server and you wanna jump into another, immediately it won't let you. You have to wait for several minutes before it lets you to connect into the server, which I think it's a pretty cool feature, because if you remember the first days of DayZ standalone, most of the servers or most of the cool loot sites were infested with ghosters, ghosting from server to server, just going through the barracks and looting all the good stuff. So I really think this is a good thing. All the breaking point servers are on the same hive, um, meaning that you can go from server to server. If per se the server you like to play has a huge ping for some reason, you can switch to another, and your character switches to another server also, which is it's kind of cool. But The Breaking Point mod is whitelisted, so you need to whitelist when you register on their game. But well, whitelisting is a good thing. It reduces the amount of hacking, but well, hackers can whitelist too. And I actually haven't seen a Bohemia game yet that hasn't been hacked. So that's for the Breaking Point, guys, and I hope you like it. Go check it out. Deathly Rage and his team have made a huge amount of work for this mod, and I think it's awesome. At this point, it's the most perfect experience of zombie survival for PC. I'm not sure if it changes in the future. We have to wait. It's the mod is on the alpha stage, so there's gonna be a lot of changes, modifications, updates, step packs, everything you could imagine with alpha stage game. So check it out. It's an awesome, cool mod, and I hope you like it. You can get it from the www.zombieinfection.com, and there's all the instructions on that website you need to start playing the Breaking Point. So that's for it. I hope you like this video, and I'll see you next time.